Hey, Arman here, and in this video we're going to talk about a total health and physique reset. So depending on where you are in this point in time in your life, if things are not where they need to be, which is for a lot of people, then a reset would be the best approach. But when you're going to do a reset, what is your strategy to do that? And so the reset is to optimize your health, to get it to where it's really, really good. And that'll be determined through blood work and other measurement systems. And then your physique, is it where you want it to be? Would you like to put it in a position that you would want to be? And we can help you with that. So what I want to do is kind of highlight different components of doing a reset and enlighten you to the approach that we like to take here at Elite Executive Method. Okay, so when you're doing a total health reset, the first thing we want to do is to focus on optimizing hormone levels. So why we want to focus on that first? Well, the first stage of doing a reset is to get a baseline. So that baseline is going to include lab work, and that lab work is going to tell us how all your biomarkers are and then how all your hormone levels are. And then also we want to get some history on what you know about all these components, where you are today, and then where you like to go, so we can customize these options to make it work for you. And that's the most important thing, is to get it to work for you and your lifestyle and get the results you're looking for. So when we're going to optimize the hormone levels, there's a lot of moving parts to that. And so we got the baseline, we've got some lab work, and that's going to be analyzed by two different medical groups. Now, the purpose of the two different medical groups is to determine, okay, what's lacking in the lab work, and then to determine what a corrective protocol would be to get it where it needs to be. And that's really important. And that's going to include nutrition, supplementation, and a lot of other exercise and a lot of things we're going to be talking about to help get those levels to where they are. Now, why is that important? Well, hormones are the messengers that tell your body how to operate. So the better you got those working for you, like when you're in your 20s and your 30s, you're kind of bulletproof, you can kind of get away with a lot of things, the better you're going to feel, the more confidence you're going to have, the better energy, stamina, sleeping better. Things are going to work out much better when you got these things working for you. So that's what we're talking about, is getting these things to work for you and not against you. And now there are corrective ways to get these things in optimal levels, which, 20 years ago probably was a stretch to even work on that kind of stuff. But the science today has the capacity to help people to reset the clock on these things. And again, all this boils down is to help slow down aging. We slow down aging, we slow down disease. We slow down disease, we got a longer lifespan that we can utilize, especially if we're doing well financially, to enjoy that wealth and be active and not be limited. Because a lot of people, even if they have a lot of money, they're limited based on their health and how their mobility is and things like that, and they're probably not happy with how they look either on top of that. So all right, so we want to get the hormone levels optimized, and I have a lot of different content about different approaches to doing that. But once these are working well, you're going to feel a lot better. Now, if your labs come back and you're in good shape there, that's just a double thumbs up. That means what you're doing is working, and so all we got to do is keep it that way. And I can tell you right now, I've rarely had anybody come back with a check mark on everything being right where it needs to be. That rarely happens. But if it does, well, good for you. That means you're doing the right things. All right, so then after we get working on optimizing the hormone levels, we do all these things together. Okay, it's not like one we wait and then do the other one when we wait, etc. We do them all together. So part of that reset is going to be optimized nutrition and supplements. So when it comes to nutrition, you have to understand what is the best approach, and there's all kinds of them. Let's be honest, there's tons of them, and they all work. They work to some degree, which is fine. And I've experimented with just about all of them. And what I found is with the nutrition side is you got to learn to use fat as your main source of energy throughout the day. And the reason for that is because now you're less susceptible to what's called insulin resistance, which is what's causing all kinds of problems with everybody in the population. You keep your insulin up all the time, cranking all the time, it creates inflammation, and insulin is also toxic to the body if you have too much of it. So it's not helping you. So we need to do a strategy to not get into insulin resistance, that's not going to lead to diabetes and all cardiovascular disease and all these other issues. Let's fix that on the front end as well. Let's use fats. Fats are good. There's nothing wrong with them. They help to spare muscle as well, and you have good consistent energy 4 to 6 hours at a time with good energy. So that sounds like a winning combination to me, and it does work because I'm in it. I do it all day long, and it helps control body fat. You can take back control of how that, the stomach looks if you want to with the right approach, and we have that. So you want to control body fat and take back control how that works, we can help you with it. And then get good quality energy. Get that stamina, be able to keep that pace going. It's a competitive world out there. If you have a successful business, it's not going to get any easier, unfortunately, because people are out trying to do the same thing. So it's really competitive. And you need to keep that competitive edge if you're going to continue to want to excel with your business or enjoy the wealth that you've built up long term. So another component of nutrition, again, our focus is to keep insulin down, to avoid insulin resistance, and to maintain muscle tissue and maybe add muscle tissue, because you need this muscle tissue as time goes by, because you're going to start losing it anyways. As the body progresses through time, you don't retain it. And it's unfortunate, but what we want to do is retain as much as possible. And that's why we have resistance training to help with that. But this means getting appropriate amounts of protein and fats first. Okay, that's the most important, because you need fats for hormones. Fats are not bad. This whole thing about fat is just, it's terrible. People think that it's a bad thing, and it's not. You need cholesterol to rebuild cells. You need that to maintain quality muscle tissue, and you need the protein. Protein and fats are your cornerstones for maintaining quality muscle tissue and quality energy. Then we use the carbohydrates as needed to reload the muscles in the liver strategically. So that way we don't get excess. When you get too much of carbohydrates, it's going to convert to fat. And when you eat fat, you actually burn fat. So it's a great combination. And when people have these other strategies, I just find it hard to believe how that's really a sustainable, easy to manage strategy, because with what we do, it is. And our clients are getting the results, and they're seeing it, and they're feeling it. So we want to get our nutrition optimized. Now, another way to help with that is to utilize supplements to manage that as well. Now, some people are against supplements. I get it. But I've done it both ways. I've done it without supplements, and I've done it with supplements. And at this point, I'm sticking with supplements because I feel a difference, and I know from my lab work, I'm getting what I need. So that's the other thing. Lab work's going to tell you if you're getting the nutrients you need. And so that's great. That's why I want to focus on the optimization of hormone levels and the labs. So with the supplements, we have some baseline supplements we're going to use. But if we need to get rid of some belly fat, there's supplements that can help that. And one of those is berberine as an example. And it helps to reduce glucose levels, and keep your insulin sensitivity under control. So that's a great thing. May not need to use it, but if we do, that's just one of many supplements that would be incorporated. And obviously we need a multivitamin mineral supplement. We need some fish oil or krill oil, depending if you have joint issues. Vitamin D, vitamin D3, some vitamin C if you're not getting enough, etc. So when we incorporate these, it helps the nutrition go farther and helps keep deficiencies from happening, which again, great energy, you feel better, you sleep better. This stuff all starts coming together. So what we do is go through a process of finding out what you know about nutrition, where you're at with your nutrition, whether it's good or bad, and then where we're going to go with it, and then put in the implementation process. And that's going to include a detailed nutrition outline on what to do hour by hour with the supplements for simplicity. And that's what we're trying to do, give you simplicity. So all you got to do is follow what's prescribed, and we monitor how it's working. And then we adapt as you're adapting to keep it working in the right direction. And once you get to a point where it's a quality baseline, everything is doing really well, we want to stick with that. And that'll work for a long time. Now, over time, you may need to readjust, because that's how the body is. As we age, there's other things that may come up or other deficiencies. So that's what we want to do there and keep it going as long as we can. Okay, so optimize nutrition and utilizing supplements to do that. And then the next step is to optimize your physique to the desired level. Now, part of the optimization to the physique is to get the muscle tissue on the body and keep it there so it looks the right way. And some people, they're not too concerned about it because they don't really care about how they look. That's fine. But at the same time, you're going to get more mileage by putting quality muscle on and putting it in the right areas. Because if you're going to do the work, let's make it look good. And we can do that. You just need to have an understanding of what movements do you need to do and how should you do them and what's involved, and then execute it. And it doesn't need to be overbearing. You can get great results, 3 to 4 times a week with resistance training. So don't limit that thought. And it's only 30 to 45 minutes at a time, but you're working in a hard focused period of time to get optimal results. And again, we're not looking to get huge and pack on a whole lot of muscle. We're looking to keep the muscle, and we're looking to add some more and put it in the right places. So when you put your clothes on, you feel good about yourself. People start to notice, wow, this person looks great. I wonder what they're doing. Because it's going to happen. You put muscle on the right way, and you have this whole demeanor that can change. And the clothes you get, you're going to be more excited about getting the clothes. And you may get rid of a lot of clothes that you're just not. You feel like, well, that doesn't look good on me at all. You want clothes that are complementing your physique. There's nothing wrong with that. Just make it a statement. This is like a tattoo. People got tattoos, they show them all the time. Just make it a statement. It's their own personal statement. That's fine. My tattoo is my physique. That's my statement. And I take pride in that. But I'm in a more extreme situation. I have to look as good as I'm talking. Otherwise, people aren't going to take me seriously, right? So that's the reason why I'm doing what I do. Okay, but again, your goal is where you want to be desired levels. Okay, and then we put this thing together, and this takes time. You got to rebuild cells every 6 to 8 weeks. All this process takes time to see how your body changes and changing that body composition. But just imagine, say you're 20% body fat. Now all of a sudden we get down to 10 to 8. All of a sudden you got a 6-pack. Now, I'm not saying you want to go that way, but if you just want to tighten that stomach up and keep it healthy, then we got you covered. And it takes time to do that. Because it took time for it to happen, whether you like it or not, it took time, okay? So it takes time to correct it. But I've seen people make really quick progress because they're very focused and they execute, which that's what you have to do. So we want to have a strategy to optimize how your physique looks, make it efficient, pop it into your lifestyle based on your schedule, and then execute. And then as you adapt, we adapt. We keep changing it up, challenging a little bit more. And also exercises, as you'll see in a lot of my videos, it clears up a lot of problems. It does. Your health always does better. And one of the reasons for that is exercise is a light amount of stress on the body. And this stress causes the body to have to function at a higher level. And when it does that, everything's working better. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not a negative. The thing is, you just want to be, when we're doing this kind of things for our physique, we want to make sure we're doing safe so we don't get injuries, which is important. And if we have an injury, we want to work around that and correct it as part of the process. So you got good mobility, good range of motion. So when you're 70, 80 years old or whatever, you can move around. You can think clearly. People are like, wow, how do you do that? We're talking about game-changing strategies here. And I'm 60 and I'm looking forward to what's going to happen down the pipe. Just because of what I've learned and what I'm seeing. And there's really good science that backs a lot of this up. And I'm on top of that too. I'm learning so I can help my clients. All right, so we want to get an optimized physique to the desired level you prefer. And then the next biggest step, which is on our part, is to help you integrate that into a full lifestyle plan. So we give you all these different tools, and then we're going to help guide you on how to put these into your lifestyle. And that'll be some give and take on that, okay, because nothing's perfect. But as we get it integrated in your lifestyle, then it becomes automatic. You become a competent, unconscious person, which means it's like a reflex. You know what to do. Let's say you're at the airport, things are not going well, and you need to get something to eat, you got to do something on the fly. Well, we got strategies for that. You need to seek out where to get water. Okay, where can you get actual fresh food? Maybe some boiled eggs, or a certain salad, but check the dressing. Give you a strategy for all these different things that are going to be dealing with your lifestyle. We have a lot of solutions for it, and it just depends on what you need. But to integrate, we got to take each component, get it working for you, and then you need to give us feedback on what things may be challenges, so we can figure out, okay, what's the workaround, and then keep improving it, getting more feedback, improving it. And this will help other clients, by the way, because as you're getting progress, you can comment to other clients maybe struggling in a similar area. And next thing you know, we're moving this at a really rapid pace. And again, once you get to where you want to be and where you feel really good and comfortable, you know how to get there. You're actually taking back control of everything regarding your health and physique. And that's one of the key things we're going to talk about, is taking back control, because again, it's going to help slow down aging for longevity. And again, if you're doing well financially, wouldn't you want that? Wouldn't you want a good strategic plan that's going to help you along the way, and then know it really well? And you'll be able to help friends if you want to. It's up to you. But taking back control, to me, is awesome. It's like running a business or taking over a business. You know what to look for, where the weak areas are, right? That's kind of how I operate. I find out what the weak areas are, and then we start working on correcting those, getting rid of the things that don't help, things that aren't working, and keep improving it. So it's just like a business, and you'll be able to adapt to it pretty easily because you've already been through a lot. There's give and take. There's going to be some days where it's not going to work well. It's not going to be perfect. And you may even fall off the wagon for a period of time. That does happen because of depression or something else that's in your life, some other additional stress. That's all going to happen. But then when you catch yourself, which we're going to help you with on that, and hopefully that doesn't happen, but we're going to help you. But if you're going through some mental issues, we have to, we're going to be patient too. We're not going to try to put pressure on you, but we're going to try to encourage you to get back where you need to go. We're going to get back to taking control for the long term. And then again, once you know what's working for you, it's great. You don't have to live in the uncertainty, which is what everybody did. Right now, people have a lot of uncertainty. They don't know how long they're going to live. They don't know what else they're going to run into with their health. What other medications they're going to have to take. That's another thing on medications. You could potentially be medication free with these strategies. Wouldn't that feel good? Wouldn't you be proud of that? I would. Now I'm on Arman. I have to take that medication. I'm on testosterone. I have to do that because that's a long-term decision. But that's because I didn't understand a long time ago what else could be accomplished with it. And you still may need that depending on your body and how it's doing. But it's not a negative. It just means you're going to get things back to where they need to be. But anyways, if you're on blood pressure medicine, cholesterol medicine, or some other kind of medication, and you can get you off of that, I think that's another proud moment. It would be for me to say, listen, I took this, got it figured out. It's not a problem. Because right now, people over 40, they're on 5 to 6 medications already. That's because they got insulin resistance, they're not eating well, they're putting stress, they're not sleeping well. It's really a true disaster. And you can go down that path, or you can be different and set a new trend and be the new type of person that people want to strive to emulate and be like. Be a successful business owner or executive, and then have the physique and the health that people are like, God, how's this person do it? Because you're going to be able to stay in the game a lot longer if you want to. You may not. You may just want to take time off and just go travel and enjoy. But now you know what to do, and then when you go travel, you can enjoy yourself and keep things where you want to keep them. Isn't that something to shoot for? Wouldn't that be great? So I want to just explain that we're here to help you to get to where you want to be, and that's going to include a total health and physique reset. And if you go into this with the right attitude, you can change things pretty quickly and be surprised. Now, some things may take longer, but everything is in your best interest to get to that point. So your investment with us is to make sure you get there as quickly as possible, because we want good case studies. We want you to be the next awesome case study. Like, this is what this person was dealing with, and here's where they're at. We want that to happen. All right, so this is a bit longer video, but at the same time, I think it has a lot of merit. I think it's things that you need to consider, especially with what the opportunities are. The opportunities are as good now as they've ever been to take back control, get your health where you want it, put your physique where you want it, and then see what else you want to do after that. All right, so it's great to connect on this one. And of course, if you have comments on that, then throw that in the group, and we'll talk to you again real soon.